Hello there, RJB here for RJB TV, and today we return with the King of the Hill series part number 2 with Gangnam Life, Leebokgu, Hamburgersasu, and Byul. Last week, we had Leebokgu get taken down by Gangnam Life's Protoss in a Terran vs Protoss, and then we had Hamburgersasu return the favor to Gangnam Life by beating him Terran vs Protoss. So Gangnam Life's Protoss was too strong for Leebokgu, but not strong enough for Hamburgersasu. And now we've got Hamburgersasu against Byul in a Zerg versus Terran matchup. Both of these players are extraordinarily strong on their respective races. Byul used to be a semi-pro player who has played in the ASL, the highest level of competition for Starcraft normal maps, and he has competed and played against the pros a lot. Like thousands of games he's played against the pros, so he's got all the fundamentals where they should be. He's got the micros, got the multitasking, he's got the general grasp and knowledge that most people don't have. His insight is superb. But Hamburgersasu himself is no slouch either. He's a fastest map expert and probably knows anything you should and can know about fastest map, and he's got the skills to support the knowledge. He's got the experience and probably, I don't want to say the most experience, but his experience in 1v1 on fastest map is almost unmatched. There might be a handful of players who are on even footing in terms of how much experience this guy has. So Green Terran here, right next to Byul's Zerg. Byul starts off with a hatchery choke on 9 supply and a 9 supply pool, so 9 hatch, 9 pool. Hatch, of course, in the choke to block and wall off the enemy units, but Hamburgersasu already moving out there with a scouting SCV, ready to find where Byul is located, and he's actually heading in the right direction. He's going to the bottom side there, right next to him, and he finds a choke there, and he might start a bunker, and that bunker might prove to be difficult for Byul to deal with. Yeah, he starts the bunker. It's coming up, so it's gonna be a race against the clock. Byul pulls off a lot of drones to start killing the SCV and maybe kill the Marine that's coming in behind it as well. Hamburgersasu is gonna have to keep that Marine SCV alive. So he escapes with skin on his teeth. Drones are also staying alive. The micro there is really good. Byul has been on the other end of this exchange quite a lot because he mains Terran on normal maps, and this is basically a barrack bunker rush that pro players like to do against Zerg with Terran. This time around, tables have turned and Byul is on the receiving end of it. But that bunker there in the front, not going to be much problem for him though, although he did get slowed down by having to pull his drones off prematurely and having to lose a drone. But at least he got those 2 suckers up there in the front, and Hamburgersasu going to lose the Marines and lose the bunker as well, which might trade off the cost of this exchange. We've got Gaster on the way in the back for a Byul. He's very close to a lair, and he's going to get that lair once he hits 100. There it is. It's on the way. Marines there in the choke point there for Hamburgersasu. Going to ball them up, get an academy there as well up in the top side of his base, and probably get medics and a factory, because those are the most logical next steps in this game. He needs a factory to push through those sunkens with a siege tank and siege mode, and he needs an academy for medics and stim, and of course also range. You might also get an engineering bay pretty early on to get level 1 attack for the Marines. Whereas Byul, I think, is most likely going for like Spire to get Mulelisks, to get some great Mulelisk micro going on top of the hills here, and use that hill denial of vision. Like right here, you can see if the Mulelisks go on top, the Marines can't fire on them. This is great here. The Overlord there is spotting out Hamburgersasu's Marines, and he knows that Hamburgersasu is currently not yet moving into the middle to push through that choke. But the amount of Marines there, of course, does give Byul a general idea that Hamburgersasu might try to push through that choke here. So he's fortifying the choke with more sunkens, keeping the sunkens all very close together, because if Marines do try to push through and you have spread out those sunkens, not all the sunkens will be hitting those Marines, and the Marines can very easily push through because the medics will barely be healing the Marines, and it's all about medics losing their energy. Goes in, he's gonna touch and feel, he's gonna try to see, like, can I go in? He's got a great spread there on his Marines, although now he's balling them back up again, and he sees that there's too many sunkens. He checked, he saw, and he turned around. He didn't come see and conquer. No, he came, he saw, and he temporarily ran away, a tactical retreat. And sometimes a tactical retreat is exactly what you need. It might be the very smartest thing to do. There's no point in losing your units trying to be valiant and heroic if there's no positive trade-off, but only negative ones. So yeah, you got the starport there, you got a science facility also on the way for science vessels, no armory there on the top side yet, engineering bay there as well, and we got siege mode and a siege tank on the way. One siege tank already finished up and rolling to the middle, and we have an SCV there rolling to the middle as well to maybe start a turret or a bunker. Both options are great. Both options are great. Both options are functional. Got hatchery number 4 there on the way in the back. Spire is finished. We got 9 Mulinisks on the way. Gonna stack them up and mute a micro and try to kill as much as he can. But the amount of Marines Hamburgersasu has at the moment is quite scary, honestly. Also, the one downside of having so many sunken so close to each other is the fact that tanks can push through pretty quickly because they don't have to unsiege. Spreading the sunkens out makes it harder to kill them with a single siege tank, but it does make them weaker against Marines. So there's a trade-off for both scenarios. He kills a single tank there, he saw it with the Overlord. Great snipe, he's basically going to try to snipe anything that comes through that pathway, and also try to snipe some things that he can snipe from the hill. Let's showcase that, like the hill, you can't see up top, and they just keep weaving in and out of the darkness and sniping anything that's too close to the hills there. This is why Zerg Mulisks are so often used on the Korean version more often than on the Western version, because it's much more easier to micro those Mulisks with the hill instead of the space. The space doesn't deny vision. So he's gonna keep flying back and forth while he's getting a hive in the back that the Queen has finished. Hive is on the way. Scorch is also on the way to deal with vessels. He's killing a lot of stuff there. He's being risky though. Oh, he's being risky. He's being risky. Lost a couple of mutas trying to kill the tank, but the tank there stays alive. It's on very low HP there, but the Marines are protecting it very well. But he's going to try to go in. He's going to keep picking and killing those Marines there on the sides. Keeps weaving in and out. Meanwhile, back at home, their science facility is finished. A radiate is on the way and a vessel is on the way. Mutas are still dancing. He's keeping most of the units back at home just in case Mulisk were trying to sneak into the base and start dealing damage there. But Hamburgersasu is now feeling confident though. He sees, oh, he's going to try to kill the tank, and he gets a tank once again. No tanks left, no push happening for Hamburgersasu. Byul is playing this one great. Vessel gonna try to, oh no, oh no, the radiate was so well timed and Byul couldn't split up his mutas. That's a lot of dead mutas there. I think he lost about 6 or 7 in total. That radiate was perfectly timed, but he does lose the vessel, does lose the tank, and does lose some marines. So, not sure if that exchange was entirely worth it, because they're both basically both back to square one. Although he tries to go in and try to kill some sunkens, but he sees that there's too many of them, and only 2 medics to heal up, so not enough medic energy and not enough medic healing to keep those marines alive. So he turns around, but now the mutas are going into Hamburgersasu space where there's very little protection. He's got 1 turret and a couple of marines, and the micro from Byul there is really, really good. But he decides to return back to the middle because the tank there is actually threatening to push through all the sunkens. He's gonna have to make a hard choice. Do I go for the base or do I protect my own one? He's going for the enemy base, but he's flying. Oh, he kills the vessel, loses 1 Mulisk in exchange. The Marines are on the chase. Hamburgersasu is growing bigger and bigger, tiny bit by tiny bit. He's only now adding on his 2nd command center, as we can see right there on the top side. Took him a while to get it. Whereas Byul now got the Defiler mount finished up. He's got a greater spiral on the way and 1 more hatcher being added on. He's a little bit low in economy, but so is Hamburgersasu. So this is looking to be a really nice game. Guardians are now on the way. Vessel is there. There's not much anti-air. I see another vessel there coming on the way. We've got air weapons on the way as well. I don't see Valkyries or Wraiths or anything that can really shoot up into the air from long range, or, well, something that isn't a Marine. Oh no, the mutas are getting split up. Oh, it took him so long to split. Oh, it's the very last one. The very last one got radiated. A little bit unlucky on the split there, but the mutas are going to get more to the Guardians and be healthier again. Guardians now pushing into the middle, going to push those tanks away. Tanks are in sieging, rolling away, but one of them does go down. Marines also on the tactical retreat, got more starports being built there in the base. He's getting Valkyries now to deal with the Guardians. I don't see any Devourers yet. These two are Guardians as well. No Devourers on the map yet. And he's going to need those Devourers for sure to deal with the Valkyries, because Valkyries are going to get pumped out en masse and start being a problem. Hamburgersasu with 37 SCVs and Byul on 45. Guardians are already moving across the base, across the hill, attacking. It's a lot of Marines there, though. That's a lot of Marines. You got to attack here in the front as well. You're going to push through. Oh, double throw. Oh no, Byul just made a terrible mistake. Loses all the Guardians to the Valkyries and the Marines. And now in the front here, he also lost most of his Sunkers and his hatchery. The vessel there going to radiate the Mutas. The Mutas are going to have to get split up. Splits them up perfectly this time around. There's no Lurkers yet. Lurker aspect is still on the way. But oh, that attack there into Hamburger's base. That just went very, very wrong. Lost his Guardians without getting anything in return. And now he's going to have to wait for Lurkers to pop out. And he's low on gas. He's got a lot of minerals there, though. But he is low on gas, and he needs gas the most. He needs gas the most. So the game now looking very good for Hamburgersasu, despite being on a lower and smaller amount of SCVs. He's got the fighting force, a lot of Marines with Stim, a couple vessels, and Lurkers waiting to morph for Byul. If he can get those Lurkers up and running in time, he might survive, but this is not looking pretty. Lurkers are coming out as well. The Fighters are there. The Fighters don't have anything to Dark Swarm on. He's gonna... Oh no, the Zerglings get pulled into the fight. He wanted to consume the Zerglings. Now this is so chaotic. Guardian's gonna take it down there by the Valkyries. Moon's gonna take it down by the Marines. Lurkers are burrowing up. There's the Dark Swarm comes up just in time, but it might actually already be too late. So maybe not in time. Valkyries have cleared out all the air units. There's only a couple of Lurkers there on the low ground, but Valkyrie's hunting for whatever there is in the air to kill it. And he's going in from the top side there with the Marines and the vessels. Gonna maybe try to get a raid on the drones. There's Dark Swarm coming up there as well. Gonna get that. He can't get the Lurker in there. There's the radiates, and yeah, the drones are burrowing up. The drones are burrowing up just in time. They don't really all go down, but the Valkyries are coming down and taking out his forge, so the vessel's going to stay alive and going to keep those drones forcefully burrowed down. Killed everything on the top, killed everything in the front as well, so he stays alive. Hamburgersasu maybe played that a little bit too greedy, loses most of the units without really getting anything significant in return, but the supply count is... Well, there's a massive difference. There's almost 100. Well, now there's 40 supply difference between Hamburger and Byul. Hamburger once again setting up shop there in the front, but there's a Lurker with Dark Swarm keeping those Marines out. Gonna kill those Zerglings first. He's gonna test the waters. Can he roll in? He's just gonna ignore the one Lurker. There's just one Lurker in there. He's gonna roll in, kills to the fighter. Great move there from Hamburger. Valkyrie's still being very annoying there in the base. He's going to kill everything on the bottom side. Byul doesn't have... Well, he has a lot of units, but those units can't really fight into this. Drones are running away from the siege tanks just in time, but that's once again more lost mining time there for Byul. Tanks are wreaking havoc. Marines there as well. Hamburger is playing this very, very well. Lurker's trying to burrow up. Lurker goes down, and now there's a Dark Swarm protecting the Marines. Drone still very far away from the minerals. Oh no, this is looking very bad for Byul. Lurkers are going to try to get the needed Dark Swarm. Are they going to get under? They get under, but more tanks rolling in from the front door. More Marines there as well. This is looking ugly for Byul. I've said it many times before this time. But yes, this is looking ugly. Can you get the Lurker under there? Lurker is going to try to burrow up. Lurker burrows up, but the Defiler itself goes down. Both Defilers go down. He had two of them, but they both got sniped down by Hamburger. Now Vessel's coming in once again with support from Valkyries. That's raid, and Byul loses the game, and Hamburger, with very, very, very nice play, takes the W once again and comes out on top, and he's going to proceed to game number 4. Action-packed game, a lot of great micro, a lot of tight, small control of small groups of units, but in the end, that is all he needed to do to definitively win the game. Now, we come back, full clock, like full round. That's not the way to say it, but we've come back to the start. Hamburger against Leebokgu, because there's only 4 players participating. Leebokgu gets a second chance to go at Mr. Hamburgersasu to hopefully kill the Hamburger. He's here on the dark... Let's make it red versus blue. He's on the regular blue Protoss here on the top corner of the map. Hamburgersasu is on the other side of the map on the red Terran. Right there. Starts off with a barracks. As is usual, not much to say about the early stages of the game. Leebokgu starts off with a nexus, as is usual, and a forge, because he's on a corner spawn. And a corner spawn, the standard build order for the Koreans is going for a nexus, into a forge, into a gateway, into a cannon and a choke. Whereas the Terrans always go for 8 barrack, 9 supply, and 2 more barracks and a supply depot. Basically the 3 barrack build order. The timing of everything gives the Terran the option to maybe rush if the enemy is located right next to them. They can maybe get their marine out and attack the choke before the choke is operational. Like here, right here. The cannon is still warping in, the marine is already very far out on the map. He might have been able to kill that cannon, although Leebokgu would have, of course, pulled 3 probes to his choke to kill the marine and buy himself some time. 3 probes do about the same amount of damage as the Zealot. Well, actually, a little bit less damage than a Zealot, but it's still pretty deadly. Cybercore there on the way, and here we've got Marines moving out across the map, hunting for that probe. He really doesn't want that probe to get into space. He really doesn't want to give Leebokgu any information, but Leebokgu just walks right around it, although he is going to the wrong spawn location, so walking right around it might not have done the trick, but he still gets it. Because Hamburgersasu stopped making Marines, because he found out, right here, that Leebokgu is on the other side of the map. And being on the other side of the map, of course, means that, well, I can take my time and just start building more command centers and get very rich. That's exactly what he's doing. He's gonna get rich. Very rich. So that's course of action, is getting rich. Both players have that in mind. Both players going for economy build orders. Leebokgu going for about a 615 attack build order. He's got 1 robo on the way there in the front. Got a Citadel finish there in the back. Getting a Citadel, the Templar's Archive now as well. Which probably means he's going for fast Templar drop or Dark Templars. I don't really see him having enough gas to go for double Reaver in his shuttle, which is another go-to standard build order that most players go for. Got another 2 gateways there on the way. This is going to be Dark Templar. It's going to get triple Dark Templar. Most likely, because well, the support bay is now on the way as well, but the support bay comes in last. Usually when players go for Reavers, the support bay comes in before the Templar's Archive. And there's also a second robotics, but this time there's only 1 robotics. Dark Templars are on the menu, and I for sure hope for Leebokgu he can make the Dark Templars count. We don't have an engineering bay there yet for Hamburgersasu. We've got a starport on the way. Engineering bay now being placed down at about 4:45. Will be finished at about 4:30, and then he'll get a turret during the choke. Marines are moving across the map. He's feeling funky. Got steam upgrade there on the way. Medics are also on the way, so we might have those medics join the Marines, but the Marines are actually pulling back and retreating. Because there's so much distance to cross from choke to choke. The fact that those Zealots saw the Marines should give Hamburger enough time to get another cannon up in the front, or to prepare himself adequately for that Marine frontal stim attack. Which is not coming. It's not coming because Hamburgersasu knows that Leebokgu has that option, so he's not even going to try. He's really going all in on the economy build order. He's now catching up. He had to make those comsats first. He got double scan there. Has he used a double scan? He hasn't used them yet. He's waiting a little bit longer until he has energy. Got Dark Templars and Zealots walking across the map. They're not really gonna do anything though. But that's not really Leebokgu's plan. Leebokgu's plan is to, I think, get ahead of himself and transition into carriers, most likely. Though now he's adding on another robo, but only 1 more. He's getting Templars, High Templars now as well. So, of course, Psionic Storm also on the menu. He's getting a Stargate for Corsairs. And here is the very first frontal attack attempt. He's flying in Reavers there. There's only a single Reaver. Reaver's shooting. Oh, this is great micro there with the Reaver. Almost kills the siege tank there behind enemy lines. Kills the siege tank. Kills the turret as well. Which means that the Dark Templars have free ability to harass whatever they want. I don't know if Hamburger has the scans. One Dark Templar gets picked up, they'll try to fight it in over the top side. He has the scan, kills the Dark Templar, but there's one more Dark Templar inside the shuttle, and he might try to get that one in after the scan duration ends. Yeah, he goes in. Oh, he gives away the fact that there's a Dark Templar there, and I believe Hamburger has not a scan, but he misses the scan, throws it the wrong way. Dark Templar makes its way all the way to the backside of the base. He's hunting for the tank. Also, he knows that the tank drop is now on the way because he saw the dropship. Tank drop was on the menu, but he's shutting it down effectively. Kills the tank. Dark Templar still running back and forth. But Hamburgersasu deals with it without really losing all too much. Lost a turret, lost some marines, lost a tank, lost another tank. But he is prepared for drop. Drop comes in from the top side, sees it, snipes it down immediately. He saw it with the engineering bay there, responds within the blink of an eye. Now killing his own control tower. Alright, that wasn't what he intended to do. Courser there on the front for vision, or maybe just there for distraction purposes. He tried to distract, but he couldn't really distract him. Double armory on the way, 2 at the same time, getting more engineering base there to put them up on the high ground. Also finishing up level 1 attack for the Marines very, very soon. Here's a double armor. Engineering bay for vision. Another starport there on the way. There's no anti-air in the form of raids or Valkyries. He's relying on Marines to drop defend. Tank can't really get close. Very, very good cannon line there from Leebokgu to keep the dropship away. He's already knew it was coming. And now we've got Corsairs there as well to escort this drop into Hamburgersasu's base. But Hamburgersasu saw it with the dropship. He knows it's coming. He also scanned it because I heard the scan sound and the scan energy has gone down. So he knows it's coming, but he doesn't quite for sure know where it's coming from, which is always the tricky part. But just in time with the extended vision there up on the high ground with the engineering base, you should see this coming. There's a lot of Marines there in between. Drop is gonna come in. There's a lot of stuff in there, a lot of Templars. This is typical signature Leebokgu style. Snipes 2 shuttles, snipes 3. Does he snipe number 4? Doesn't snipe number 4. Templars on the scene. As these are running away, as if he's dodged the storm, but there might still be a Templar in there. Now everything is empty. He killed a lot of Marines there with the storms. Like his entire group there on the bottom side got cleared out. He killed another. Oh, he got another Templar in there. He had another Templar in there and he kills. Oh yeah, beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful. Underneath the map. Underneath the mini-map, he had another shuttle and the Templar in there. Also another classic Leebokgu move. Keeping a Templar in there and waiting for the enemy to feel safe, and then he strikes. He strikes when the enemy least expects it. And he's ready to strike again. This time around, he's expecting it, but that's 5, 9, 7, 8... 8 shuttles. He turns around. He got scanned. Hamburger scanned the front, then scanned the top side there because he knew something was up, so he scanned his entire side. You can see the scan circles here. He scanned every single part of his sides, of his base, to see if something was coming in, because he knew something was coming, and he wanted to know, or at least not be caught off guard. Because he's on a very low supply. He's on half, not even half the supply. Well, now he's on half. He's on half the supply of Leebokgu. And he's got pretty much only Marines and Valkyries to defend himself with Valkyries attacking the shuttles there on the top side. He's got 2 drops coming in there, one for the bottom side, one for the top side. And they're both gonna hit the jackpot, gonna run those SUVs to safety. Temples are there to storm. Temples are storming and everything they can, but Temples they can't storm on the SUVs. SUVs are staying alive. And surprisingly, not that many units inside all those shuttles, although he did go down about, oh, another storm there comes down, but he doesn't kill the SUVs. The SUVs are mostly still alive. But he did go back to 36 from about 45, 50. So he did lose something. He did lose something, although he's still, again, at about 96 supply, so it might have also been a lot of Marines going down. Yeah, Hamburgersasu handled that one really well, and it did appear like Leebokgu went down from about 200 supply down to 130, so there must have been a lot in there. Everything just immediately got taken down by those stimmed Marines. Not stimmed latte, Not instant latte, but though, yeah, extending his vision a little bit further because he put some tanks up on the high ground, which of course also give vision, which allows him to put those engineering base a little bit further away. Smart move. Although he doesn't really need those siege tanks there yet, they are pretty useful to have up on the high ground. Another big signature mass shuttle drop there on the way from Leebokgu. It's gonna get spotted out very early though, because the vision extension from Hamburgersasu is really good, and Leebokgu has completely forgotten to deny any vision extension from Hamburgersasu all across the map. And a lot of shuttles going down there. Templars are unloading there though. Templars can't storm on the SCVs. Kills a lot of Marines there though. More units are unloading. There's no longer a Templar in there, so he is completely safe. He's safe. He's safe, guys. He's still in the game. 48 SCVs now against 82. Leebokgu maybe should have switched up into a frontal mass attack, but he is really the one player who just never stops going for shuttle drops. He is the shuttle drop man, and he's just gonna load up mass shuttles with mass units non-stop. Maybe for a little bit too long. Although he's got arbiters coming into the mix as well, and this does look like a frontal attack. It's a very small one, but he's going for it. There's bunkers in the front. Let me see if they're loaded up with units. They are mostly empty. There's 4 Marines in one bunker, so the front is going to go down for sure. Drop comes in, drop turns around. He doesn't want any of this just yet. More shuttles are back at home, also getting loaded up. Scans being thrown down by Hamburgersasu. What did he scan? Scan the middle, because he knows something is up. They're on the middle. Shuttle's coming in. Shuttle's gonna get sniped down. No, she's gonna unload behind enemy lines. Storms on the Valkyries. Valkyries are dodging. Now there's mass units, mass zealots on both sides of the wall. But units are coming from the back to the front, and they're gonna take this all down. But all the zealots, oh, storms coming down on the Marines, but the Marines are dodging the storms with more storms coming down on the Marines, and the Marines can't dodge storms infinitely. They do go down in the end, and the zealots are just blowing through the front door. It did cost him his entire mass, though. There's a couple... Well, actually, those zealots are strong. With 1-1 upgrades on the zealots. Siege tank. Siege is up closer to the choke point there, up high on the hill. A 50 supply difference at the moment. More units coming across the map, but the tank there up on the high ground is making life difficult for Leebokgu. They have to unload some zealots up on the high ground to take care of those tanks. There's tanks on both sides, and the tanks are tripping out his zealots. Zealots are still dealing damage there though, but Leebokgu being a little bit sloppy there with not putting his own zealots up on the high ground. He's so focused on, well, producing and sending. Pulls back his zealots for now. Gonna put them into the shuttles, I believe, because he really wants to take care of those tanks up on the high ground. Valkyrie there. Valkyrie takes down the shuttle. Only 2 zealots unload and unsieges the tanks immediately to kill those. Oh, great micro there as well. Gonna try to keep the tank alive as long as he can. More zealots coming to the front door. Tanks up on the high ground, no longer sieged up, but still being annoying and tripping out those zealots. Zealots trying to get in between the factories, but the factories are doing such a good job at protecting whatever is behind the factories or in between them. It's too hard, too difficult for the zealots to get on top and in between. And he's trying to get through, but he just can't. The tanks up on the high ground are messing him up. Got another mass drop there in the middle though. Still has not denied side vision for Hamburgersasu. Hamburgersasu going for cheap vulture units to lay down mines inside the pathway. Leebokgu taking some early preventative measures, basically. He's going to cannon at the middle and create a large buffer zone that's going to buy him a lot of time when Hamburgersasu intends to move out and go for the attack. Hamburgersasu will have to fight through a lot of cannons first, and that's going to take some time. Now, Leebokgu doesn't have a fleet beacon yet. Although there's a fleet beacon on the way right there, he's gonna switch into carriers at some point. He's getting Dragoon range. Oh, he got the mine. Oh, I didn't see this one, but he got a mind-controlled SUV there on the side. He recalled it back home. And does Hamburgersasu know that it's there? He hasn't scanned it yet. He doesn't know, but he might know that there's something missing here. The Dark Archon also died. He might know that something is up. He's moving out into the middle. Zealots are there. Cannons are there. Leebokgu's gonna buy himself a whole lot of time. More Stargates come up from more carriers. He's gonna switch into carriers. He's getting both upgrades now at the same time as well. He's building a barrack there and is back at home as well. Upgrades on air on 121. Ground upgrades are on 222. Goes for the attack there in the middle. That's a mass zealot attack. Gonna try to break through the choke point. This pathway is one of the hardest to break through points, but when you've got this many zealots, it isn't that hard. Also some sweet Reavers, shot a micro there to assist. Valkyrie's coming in to kill the Corsairs. He's pulling back, he's gonna drag those zealots into the mine, but also loses one of his own tanks to his own tank fire. The Reavers there in the middle. They're gonna shoot on everything that gets close to the cannons. Great move, great setup there. So he's gonna have to roll up pretty close, probably in range of the Reavers to shoot on the cannons there. And we're gonna see the Reavers in action. Boom, boom. Yeah, there they are. Great. Gonna get always building a lot of cannons. He's gonna try to buy as much time as he can. Hamburgersasu is ready to push out. He's got the upgrades. He's got the factories as well. He's got 2-2 on the ground tank upgrades. Storm's coming down to buy more time. Storm's doing a great job clearing out some tanks. He's adding a lot of factories this time around. He lifted up all his barracks, spreading them out all over the map for vision. Yeah, this is a lot of factories. This is row of 5, row of 6, row of 7. He's adding more starports as well. He's pushing hard. He knows he's got to push. I don't think he's scanned this portion there yet where he's building. Well, he might have seen the factories already. Anyway, he's pushing. It's a race against the clock. He's going to try to reach Leebokgu's base before the factories become operational. But the factories are already almost finished with adding on siege machine shops. So he's going to get siege tanks for sure. Carriers also finishing up. And once the carriers have their interceptors, it's going to be even harder for Hamburgersasu to push across the map. He's going to try nonetheless. He has to try. He has to go for the offense. While Leebokgu is rebuilding and building an army. A lot of carriers there, though. Arbiters. He's building more command centers there. Or supply space. Because he doesn't really want to build too many supply depots. Because that would completely ruin his base and fill everything up. But there's a lot of factories coming in. Siege tanks. Siege mode. But Hamburgersasu might arrive before the first tank sieges up there inside the front door. Hamburgersasu's push is just too damn fast. Oh, this first siege tank there rolls up. Siege tank number 2 also rolling up. Siege tank number 4 and 3 also almost ready to spawn. Carriers are ready to attack. Carriers are going in for the attack. There's almost no anti-air. Gonna get a stasis on the Valkyries, and that is effectively shutting down the push. Yeah, siege mode is finished. Siege tanks are beneath the Arbiter. Reavers are beneath the Arbiter as well. And Hamburgersasu is forced to turn around and run away. He doesn't have the anti-air he needs to deal with the carriers. He needs Goliaths and raids. He's building raids, but Leebokgu has like a lot of... He had a lot of observers. He spread them out all over the map. So he's got one observer to protect the carriers and the arbiters, but that might not be enough. Scans coming down there from Hamburgersasu as well. Scan the entire base. Sees there's a lot of factories there inside the base. A lot of factories, a lot of command centers as well. Is he going to go for 400 supply? Leebokgu is playing full lame duck, but honestly, I want to see how Hamburgersasu is going to beat this one. Is he going to beat this one? There's a player who might be able to do it. It is Hamburgersasu. I've seen him beat mind-controlled Protoss Terran before against a player of Leebokgu's level. Is this a recall? A recall! Reaver recall on top of the tanks! Boom! Mass! Boom! Bam! Storms everywhere! Now the carriers are coming in through the front door as well. Beautiful combination there, but actually that recall was look cool, but it wasn't as effective as I hoped it would be. Oh, he killed the observer, and now the carriers are out all across the map, and there's no observers to protect them. He's going to have to go for the command center there in the back, going to try to get as much damage on as he can, but the Greats are tearing through the carriers. Carriers are going through the base, but oh no, Leebokgu just threw away all his carriers and isn't going to achieve anything with them whatsoever. All those observers he had, he put them all over the map, but only one with his carriers, and he's paying the price instantly. Raids doing the trick. It's a lot of raids. This is like 2 groups of raids. He might try to go for a Nexus snipe. Can he click on the Nexus? Yeah, he can click on the Nexus because I click on it, which means he can click on it too. And there's actually nothing to protect him against the raids. So the raids are going to wraith bomb the Nexus, and that is going to make life sour for... Is it? He's going to have to be fast there, though. He's going to have to be fast because carriers are on the way. Mass Zealots are on the way. Mass Tanks are on the way. Mass everything is on the way. Command centers are flying. He's going to try to protect it. Oh, he's going to go in for the EMP first, but he turns around. There's too many cannons. He doesn't believe he can, and there's also very great coverage with the command centers to protect the Nexus. Usually, we see this the other way around, where the Terran protects their command center with command centers, but this time around, it is the other way around. A piece of his own cake. Anyway, the raids are doing a pretty good job there. Tanks rolling across the map once again. Tanks setting up there in the front as well. He really needs those raids to fight against the tanks. He needs the raids to fight against the carriers and the arbiters. But the arbiters have stasis, so that's going to be difficult to pull off. He's going to hunt them down, though. He can't get in. Going to kill some observers. Going to kill some tanks. He's going to kill whatever he can. He's going to kill the tanks first. Leebokgu there. Downside of playing 2 races at the same time is that you have to produce from a lot more structures and have to build a lot more things. You are so... Oh no, stasis! Oh! Okay. That's about 24 raids locked in stasis. He did kill all the cannons in the front, but now carriers are moving up to the front, and they are gonna have a field day killing those raids, although the carrier count might actually not be big enough. He's gonna snipe some observers there. He's gonna try to kill all the observers so that he can immediately cloak all of his raids. But the raids that were there have gone down. A couple of raids are still alive. Gonna try to kill some carriers. He's killing the carriers. Actually pretty effectively doing the job. But Corsairs coming up for Leebokgu to kill the raids. Beautiful. Don't think we've ever seen that many raids stuck in stasis before. He's gonna kill everything anyway. Corsairs are doing a really good job. They're killing some raids, but there's so many raids. This is so funny to watch. The raids, the mass raids, are actually winning the battle here. Although we've got more air units on the way, and there's so many zealots, the raids can't really damage the zealots too quick. But they're gonna take down the tanks, and once the tanks are dead and gone, the siege tanks of his own are gonna roll through and kill whatever he can. This is not what Leebokgu had in mind. More Corsairs coming in. Corsairs doing a great job of killing, like, tiny bit by tiny bit. Those raids are getting eaten up and losing their HP, but more raids coming across the map non-stop. They're maxed out on upgrades. They're not fast at killing these things, but do keep in mind, Leebokgu's ground units have no upgrades. This is definitely not what Leebokgu had in mind when he started to mind control an SCV and build a Terran army. This is not what he had in mind. The Hamburgersasu is just doing it with raids. This is the greatest stuff I've ever seen in my life. This is great, although now we've got a lot of zealots. He's just making zealots now. And oh, Hamburgersasu might have gone in a little bit too far because now he's losing his race to the Corsairs, but he does win the fight there. But that means that tanks are once again going to be up and running. Wait, Leebokgu has no gas. Leebokgu has no gas. Okay. Leebokgu has no gas because he's building mass Corsairs. This is really funny. Although he does have to defend himself from the mass zealots coming across the map. But this game is turning into a mess, but it's a beautiful mess. It's a beautiful mess. Leebokgu is trying to catch up on his gas income by building more refineries, but the raids that keep coming across the map are just being such a pain in his ass. He's producing mass zealots non-stop. He's trying to build tanks non-stop, but the gas is a problem. The raids are still fighting and winning the battle here. The zealots don't really care about the raids. The raids are basically tickling them. Yeah, I'm having so much fun with this game. This looks so funny. Leebokgu is just sending attack moving his zealots across the map. There's some raids and tanks on the middle, but will these mass zealots be enough? Or have the mass zealots basically being choked down enough by the raids already there in the base? Man, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. I'm honestly, I want to say impressed, but this is so amusing. This is so amusing. I never thought this would ever happen. But Hamburgersasu with the mass raids is making it happen. He's just... This looks so dumb, but it looks so impressive at the same time. I'm not sure what to say. Here. This is hilarious. This is, in fact, hilarious. Is he gonna win the game? Although the amount of Corsairs Leebokgu has keeps growing and growing and growing. Oh no, all his raids are stacked up. Oh, so many Corsairs. There's observers as well. Corsairs are gonna absolutely wreck. Or are they not gonna wreck? Oh, more raids coming in from behind to reinforce just in time. And yeah, the Corsairs running away, scared, tail between their legs, running away to safety because they can't take the fight. The raids there are just too strong. There's some tanks around the corner and a single cannon as well. There's observers as well to keep detecting the raids. More raids coming in from the back door. Oh, there's observers there. Oh, look at how fast. Oh, wow. Look at how fast those raids are going down to a group of Corsairs. That was really, really fast. He lost about 15 of his raids there. The Corsairs also all went down. This is basically whoever can outproduce the other. Whoever can outproduce the other wins the game, but oh, Hamburgersasu killed his own SCVs. Oh, he killed his own SCVs and he's running out of money. He's very low on money. He made a big mistake. He's basically banking on having a bigger army. But the Corsairs that keep coming in from Leebokgu are really, really proving to be a problem for those raids. Tanks are setting up shop there in the front door. He's got Goliaths now. If he can take care of those tanks in the bottom corner, he wins the game. He has to take care of the tanks. But the Corsairs are keeping the raids away from killing the cannon to stop detection. Although, yeah, he's gonna go in. Oh, he's gonna have to fly away. He's flying away. Corsairs can... Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Tanks rolling in through the front door. Raids are there as well. Corsairs trying to keep those raids away. Raids keep weaving in and out. Now the Corsairs are starting a fight with the Corsairs and the raids. Great split on the raids, but the Corsairs still killed most of them. A couple siege tanks seizing up once again, but Hamburgersasu has put his foot in the door. He's setting up shop there. He's getting a really great fortified push going. And Leebokgu can't keep up with the production. His gas is low. He's got Corsairs on the roll. He's got tanks not in their production at the moment because he can't afford them. He's got mass zealots being produced. He's trying to produce from everything at the same time, but he simply can't. Hamburgersasu is gonna win against a mind control Terran that already had siege tanks and carriers up and running. And it all started with losing the carriers in Hamburgersasu's base while achieving basically nothing at all. Hamburgersasu with the insane push. Switched over into tanks once he no longer needed the raids. Once the raids cleared out the pathway through the front door, once the choke was down, he switched over into tanks, and Leebokgu is trying to build as many tanks as he can, but tanks against tanks, specifically tanks that don't have upgrades, can't do much against tanks that do have upgrades. Hamburgersasu's tanks are just way stronger, and instead of pushing into this corner section, he's pushing into the entire other half of the base, where these tanks don't have any power. Corsairs chasing the raids, and the Corsairs, of course, going to win the fight there against the raids because the raids are not that strong. They're basically made of paper. They melt in the sun. They burn when they fly a little bit too close to a source of fire. But the tanks are getting closer to the Nexus. He's pushing through. He already killed almost all the gateways. He's killing everything he can. Carriers are under production. Will Leebokgu be in time? He still has to make interceptors for his carriers, though. If those carriers do finish, he sets up next to the Nexus. Disruption web comes down. He can't shoot on the probes. He can't shoot on the probes because of the disruption web. He's killing everything around. Oh, he got his shot off on one side, but the probes are on the other side. Okay, I never ever expected to see this happen. This is now absolutely my favorite match, and this really shows how amazingly good Hamburgersasu is. He's inside the base. He's inside the base. Leebokgu has lost most of his probes. He's got no minerals coming into the bank. He only has probes and SCVs mining gas. And he did secure his choke again. He's got carriers producing interceptors. He's got Corsairs in the air as well. But he's got this army of tanks, raids, and Goliaths inside his base, killing his base. Yo, dude, I'm killing your base, Hamburgersasu says. Leebokgu is trying to recover by building cannons in his choke. There's a lot of raids there back at home. Hamburgersasu is not really focusing on sending more units over. He's just focused on using the units he has inside of his enemy base to kill as much as he can. He's now going for the command centers. He really wants to kill everything here in the back. He really wants to kill all of the income. He wants to kill the entire economy after killing pretty much the entire base itself already. Hamburgersasu. Leebokgu doesn't want to give up yet. Leebokgu doesn't want to give up. He's salty as hell. He knows he completely botched the game. He knows that Hamburgersasu completely destroyed him. So he isn't calling the GG yet. And yeah, he's splitting up his raids. Corsairs against raids fight once again. The raids are melting. The raids killed the Corsairs really, really quick. Hamburgersasu doesn't even call. Leebokgu doesn't even call the GG. And Hamburgersasu displays absolute fucking dominance. Hell yeah. Absolutely absolutely amazing. I'm losing my voice here. Absolutely amazing game. That was, for me, the game of the year. How those raids were fucking about inside of Leebokgu's base and fucking him up. Man, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. Excuse my language, but that was, simply put, amazing. I hope you had as much fun as I did. That was one of the most fun matches I've watched pretty much ever. I had so much fun. So yeah, thanks for watching. It was RGB for RJB TV. Please come back for another video. Whenever it comes up, you'll know. You'll see it pop up in your notifications and on your membership upload thing page where the videos show. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Have a great day.